G'day friends, welcome to Sanderson Sisters Saturday. It's day 4 of HALLOWEEK and I've got Steve here with me.
Hi guys.
I've got Steve here with me because Steve requested this particular project. Steve, what on earth did you request?
I wanted to make a tag.
And what kind of tag? Was it a basic tag or was it the most intricate tag I've ever made?
Is anything with me basic? Is anything about me
Just
basic?
your whole personality. Look, Steve basically asked me, he said, I love Hocus Pocus. He just ordered a movie poster of Hocus Pocus that he's trying to fill the office with movie posters at this point. And he said, I really want to do a Hocus Pocus tag. I want it to be the movie poster. I want it to be that, like you did with the Coco tag. I want to stack the paper. And he said, set me up for success. You do all the bits and I'll just put it together.
Well, it was kind of not really. I told him I wanted to do it, and then he said, "Well, you want me to like put all the bits together?" And I said, "Okay, sure." And so I said, "If you want to do it," I said, "If you have time, this is this is the photo that I think would be really cool and really fun." And actually, I mean, I really wanted him to do it just because I like it, and I figured he would do it anyway. I'm always trying to give him different, creative ideas.
Oh yeah, Steve
boundaries.
has a ton of ideas. Stella. You gave Stella that idea for Cleopatra?
I did.
Steve's always got an idea to share, but a lot of the time I do end up doing them anyway. But I thought it would be fun to have Steve get involved in HALLOWEEK. And I thought this was something that I was kind of wanting to do.
Yeah, and it's fun, and so it worked out.
It was fun.
For me.
But I'll tell you the irony was, drawing all the bits and colouring them in with the Copic markers and even cutting them out and assembling the bits ready for you to make, I think took less time than it took you to piece them together.
I don't think so.
I think so. I have the raw footage.
Yeah, but this is also...
It took Steve so long because Steve struggles with a bit of a perfection streak.
I don't think it's a struggle. I just am very highly detail-oriented and aware. And if something doesn't really fit, then
he lets me know.
Yeah, I'm like, this is...
Steve is very, very detail-oriented. So it wasn't so much that he was slow, he really did want it to be perfect.
Yeah, I want it to look right.
And I will say at the end, it looks very right.
See, you're welcome.
It's one of my favourite tags. We've got it hanging up in the house now.
For Halloween.
Just for Halloween, because I don't do holidays after holidays.
That's weird.
I love Hocus Pocus so much. Steve likes it too.
Yeah, I love it. I actually didn't really get into it until... it came out when I was a kid, like in the 90s.
93.
Yeah, and so I remember, I think, watching it, but, my parents were really... They just didn't really like the whole idea of Halloween and witches and stuff. And, I get it. I respect it. But I think, there's boundaries for everything. And I think, if you, I don't know, too much of anything, I think can have its harm, I guess. But anyway, all that to say,
I don't know if too many Disney movies can do you a lot of harm.
That's true.
Look, it's a sensitive topic. We were both raised in very, very, I wouldn't say... superstitious households. We both weren't really allowed to understand witchcraft or explore that, and we don't.
Not that we want to explore.
No,
witchcraft.
not that we do. But I even made a case at school that I wasn't allowed to read Harry Potter because it was about witchcraft. Because I went to a Catholic primary school. So that's just our truth. That's our story. So we didn't really get into it a lot. I always wanted to be a part of Halloween, but it was kind of an American holiday anyway.
Yeah, but I love it. And so anyway, I think I've maybe watched the movie once or twice in passing. I thought that's fun. But of course, my favorite scene was the...
You've watched it a million times since then.
Well, now that I'm an adult and I can make decisions for my life and I live under my own roof, I can,
It's just on loop.
Right, I love it. I think it's just so funny. It's so clever. And Kenny Ortega directed it. And Kenny Ortega is also... he did more recently like the High School Musical movies. But even before that, he did like Newsies, and it's just so clever and so fun and so witty,
so light, too.
And there's just the witches are so silly, but they're also a little evil and sinister. But
I just can't get over Bette Midler.
Well, I mean, Bette Midler's incredible.
Bette Midler in anything, beaches. Bette Midler exists in a level of drama that I'd like to live my life at.
But she's so good at it. She's so good at it. I mean, she just won the Tony Award this year for her performance as Dolly Levi in Hello, Dolly on Broadway, and her, I don't know what was more epic, her performance or her Tony Award speech that went way past when the music started.
I know. I got nervous.
Oh, no, just the most.
I thought they were literally going to bring out that hook.
But, that's Bette Midler. She's allowed to do that.
She's allowed.
Yeah.
You earn that dividend.
Mm-hmm. So these are my hands.
Yeah. Well, they're a different color.
Yeah.
So you got a nice tan hand.
Do you see how long I'm taking to like set it all up?
Yeah, this is sped up like 3,000%.
I am literally taking my time, cutting the little circle dots so that they're specifically perfect, so that they don't see them from the other side.
And I was just off to the side, just sitting next to Steve, and he would just check with me every time he was going to put something down. Does it go here? Does it go there? Does it go here? Does it go there? Where would I put this? Where would I put this? I did want to just print it out and just make you cut out the pieces, but I think hand drawing it was a much nicer touch.
Well, it's yes, and
I thought it'd be kind of cheating to put an art video up where I hadn't actually done anything.
I know. I mean, it is kind of unbelievable how talented James is and how he just literally
this
whips
is not
this
what
up.
this is about, Steve.
But I'm allowed to brag.
You know what? We went for our honeymoon, we went to Walt Disney World. Just on a really quick mini honeymoon, moon. And we went to, what's it called?
Mickey's Not So Scary Halloween Party.
Is that what it's called over there?
Yeah.
Okay. Well, we went to that, and I only really wanted to go because I like getting dressed up, but they had the Hocus Pocus Villain Spelltacular.
Yeah, Spelltacular.
And it was everything.
It was so good.
It was the best thing I've ever seen.
So, like, yeah. So, I mean, if you get a chance to go to Walt Disney World around Halloween time, I think they actually start, like, September 1st. You can go to the Mickey's Not So Scary Party, and part of the entertainment is this Hocus Pocus Villain Spelltacular, and it started 3 years ago. This is the third year that they've had it, and when it came out, it was such a humongous success. The actresses that they get up there to play these characters are perfect. You really feel like you are seeing, these characters.
I honestly felt like I was watching Hocus Pocus in real life, but also a really fun stage show.
Yeah.
A couple of ours got cancelled because of like weather and then some technical difficulties, I guess. But so we got to see the show a couple of times.
We saw it 3 times.
Freaked out every single time. It is an extra expense to go in at Halloween. Like you have to buy a separate ticket, it is what it is. But you can get free lollies, so
yeah, you
can kind of eat your weight in lollies if you want to make that expense back.
Yeah, you actually legitimately trick or treat. You trick or treat throughout the park.
Yeah, and there's less people in the park, but. I liked it, but for me it was totally worth it. I would pay that money just to go and see that show. It was perfect.
It's so good. So it was really cool to see it like all come to life. And of course, the whole I Put a Spell on You is like the final moment, the 11 o'clock number, and everybody goes crazy for it. And the whole show has other Disney villains in it, and they're just like dancing around and having such a good time. It's so good.
What's your favorite part of Hocus Pocus?
The film?
Yeah.
Oh, I Put a Spell on You.
Oh, yeah. I mean, that's iconic.
Well, yeah, and I think also Bette Midler must have some contract in all of her films, because, like, every film that she does, she, she always, there's always, like, a song moment. Like, like, First Wives Club, like, You Don't Own Me.
Right, like, she can't not sing in a film.
Right.
She has to have her voice in the soundtrack somewhere. Probably, it'd be a really good, sweet deal for her.
Yeah.
To make money. My favorite part of the film is when they come out of the
book?
The furnace, or whatever was on fire. Hello. I want my book.
And she's like slaps her like arm and then her head, and she like crosses her hands after her.
It's so good.
Bonjour, je veux mon livre.
Okay, so we have to wrap things up there. I love it. I think you did an amazing job.
Well, you did an amazing job.
I'm gonna cherish this forever.
Thank you.
And I hope look, the cats have already stolen the little feather lightning bolt that I created. So I'm really upset about that, and I didn't realize until I put the close-ups in at the end that it was gone. So you'll just have to imagine that. But when you see us creating it, you can see that the feather is in there, and it was a genius idea, if I do say so myself.
Yeah, it was super clever.
That Steve wasn't going to put in.
But if you didn't know it, you don't miss it.
It's true. It still looks great.
Anyway, thanks for having me.
All right, thanks, Steve.
Thank you.
Bye.
Bye.